There are almost 3,000 kinds of snakes in the world, and you can find them in your kitchen, backyard, or just below or on top of the ground. You have no idea what will happen next, but you're going to find out. A Vietnamese family. In this video, strap in to find out where these snakes hid and what they did inside a house that no one could believe. A family in Vietnam was scared when they found a snake hiding under a tarp in their home. As soon as they moved the tarp, the snake spewed poison at them, but the guy was lucky enough to avoid it. The Burmese python that is the longest. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's go, dude. Even though these snakes are dangerous, they sometimes give people great stories to tell. While looking for a snake at night, a group of friends found something amazing. A huge python hiding in the bushes. Things got dangerous when the snake lunged at one of them, but he quickly grabbed its head and it started coiling around him. His friends rushed over to help him. Guest air vent. Texans often found snakes in the strangest places. For example, this guy left a bag outside, didn't check it, and then brought it into his car and threw it in the air vent. When he started the engine, he heard something slithering in the air vent and looked closer. He saw a huge rattlesnake. Guests at the front door. That your family coming out to greet you is kind of old-fashioned, huh? How about a big rattlesnake instead? A woman in Florida had a strange experience when her neighbor called to warn her about a 6-foot-long rattlesnake sitting on her doorstep. Neighbor called me and told me not to open your front door, he said. He was very excited. He goes, "There is a 6-foot rattlesnake outside your front door." Animal control was called, and they quickly arrived. Lurking gator. People feel safe and warm in gator houses, but what if you came home to an unexpected visitor? This man in Louisiana walked into his unfinished home and was greeted by a huge alligator that was 9 feet long. He was now fighting the intruder who had walked into the unlocked house without knocking it down. To deal with the animal, they called in an animal expert who is now wrangling the gator. The unexpected guest at the house. Lizard in the toilet. How would you feel if a huge reptile crawled out of your toilet to say good morning? I would have passed out, that's for sure. But that's exactly what happened to a British tourist in Thailand. He got the shock of his life when he saw a huge monitor lizard staring back at him from the toilet. The lizard appeared out of nowhere, checking out the scene with its sharp claws, which was pretty scary. But luckily, it went back on its own after its short visit and DI. Invasion of Australia by pythons. Invasion of Australia by pythons. At one point, he thought about striking, but he is well fed. Yeah, pythons are some of the largest of snakes, but these reptiles are facing conservation threats due to habitat loss and to cope with a lack of environment to thrive. They often invade human settlements. Here's one that happened last year, when a snake was found in the kitchen of an Australian home. That's, not a bad sauce sake. This sneaky python had found the perfect hiding spot among the kitchen stuff, blending in with the tiles, but its wriggling tail gave it away. He's a little bit defensive right now. You can see he's backed into a corner. The family quickly called in a snake expert to handle the situation. He thought about striking at one stage, but he is the pro caught the well-fed python before anyone got hurt and released it safely into the nearby bushes. But that's not the only invasion story out of Australia. Snake wranglers are always prepared for the rescue, called just like this one in Queensland, who quickly sprung into action after a family informed him about a huge python the slithery reptile was hiding. Under the deck, When it was spotted, fortunately, it was a carpet python, a non-venomous snake, so it was a bit easy for the snake catcher to remove it from underneath. The pool deck, oh my God, where did he come from? There we go, holy doly. I was wondering how this sneaky snake made its way in there. The expert guessed it might have slipped through the small gaps in the fence. He went through that little bit on the other bit there, out under the little gap. And she squeezed through. Luckily, it was removed safely, crisis averted in this case. A snake expert was called to remove an unwelcome snake visitor in Queensland, where she found a very strange situation. The snake was thought to be living in the kitchen ceiling. Huge Pip was sitting on the toilet. When he saw this, strange, the fact that Critter came down from the bathroom without any toilet paper isn't the only problem. When Australians go to the bathroom, they sometimes find something much scarier. A man in Queensland got the shock of his life when he saw the piercing eyes of an unwanted snake lying on top of his shower. He called for a snake catcher right away, and the intruder was identified as a python weighing about 22 lb. That's why you should check your bathroom before you go to the bathroom. Animal alligator. The alligator invasion. Attacks on. Imagine being shocked to find a huge reptile in your home. That's how this woman felt. The gator was hissing and showing off its wide open mouth, as if it were ready to strike. When the woman tried to run out of the house quickly, the gator swiped her knee with its tail, sending her tumbling. Luckily, she wasn't seriously hurt. They called the professionals to deal with this rude intruder, and it took them an hour to catch the 8-foot-long gator. Big lizard. Lizards are probably some of the most hated animals, and they seem to enjoy breaking into people's homes. Take a look at this huge lizard stuck to the door. It looked like it had misjudged its size and was trying to move around like a normal wall-climbing lizard, but there was nothing normal about this lizard. The people in the house were freaking out as they watched the reptile move around, until a brave man came up with a rope and a stick to catch it. Save the zebra. Zebras usually stay away from people in the wild, but one was seen hanging out in a woman's bedroom and looking through the closet. That was not normal, and as soon as the woman yelled, the animal ran out of the room. In another case, a zebra came inside and seemed to be doing a full inspection tour. It looked at the couch, the trash, and everything else. It was basically taking over the whole place. Bogo up. But why was this usually shy animal walking around like a boss? It turned out it wasn't just any wild zebra. It was a rescued one. We saved this boy when he was only a couple of months old, and he now lives as a pet with a lucky family. Imagine having a zebra in your home. It's not something that happens every day. The alligator is moving. A family in South Carolina woke up to find a huge 7-ton alligator trying to climb their backyard fence. The rangers had a hard time catching the animal as it thrashed around, but they finally got it on the truck and took it away. This was a very serious situation because it was the 5th alligator caught in a single season. Why the sudden appearance? Well, it's alligator mating season, so they're out and about, so be careful. It's a wild world. Deer take over. High invasion animals don't just crash into cars. This family's indoor security camera caught a scene that looks like it belongs in a wildlife documentary. The family was going about their morning routine when all of a sudden they heard the loud bang of a door crashing, and then they saw a deer running into the house. The deer couldn't move quickly on the smooth floor, so it stopped to take a break right there. Did you see the dog by the door? Getting raccoons. Own invasion of raccoons. Someone who wasn't supposed to be there made a ruckus. Where is it? Where is it? In this house. When the man opened the door to his bathroom, he saw a squirrel holding on to a loose light. That's so cool. That's so cool. Each family member went through a range of feelings. One was freaking out about the animal possibly having the rabies virus, while the other was loving the scene while recording it. Ryo baby. It's so cute, baby. They have Rabby to get it out of the house. They opened and closed other doors in the hopes that the raccoon would leave, but we still don't know how it got out. A very large reticulated python. Using Python, this man from an unknown place found the world's longest snake, a reticulated python. It was ridiculously long and wriggling along the ground. It looked like it was leaving the house on its own mission. Also, check out this ridiculously huge anaconda slithering along the ground. It looked like it was climbing over a wall. Isn't it crazy how these snakes get so big? A boom of elks. A big hit. The scary scene was caught on camera by a person in Oregon when hundreds of wild elks were seen standing outside of a house. Suddenly, the elks started to move and headed down the road. The person who was recording was scared by what they saw and quickly backed up around the corner. "We have to run home," they said. This behavior wasn't unique. A neighborhood in Colorado also saw a similar group of elk resting on their lawns. There were so many of them. I've never seen so many in one place, and the animals didn't seem to mind. They were doing this because the unusually hot weather has made them hungry. And at this time of year, they like to rest wherever they can.